Welcome to CO2, the show that centers on carbon emissions, their impact, and what can be done about it. I'm your host, Monet Hesse. Today, we are going to examine some of the key science behind increased carbon levels and really focus on what's important, the food we eat. You might ask, what does all of this have to do with me? Good question. I want to introduce our guest, renowned chef Michelle Cook, and climate scientist Dr. Lisa Burns. Hi, ladies. Thanks for coming to the show today.
Wouldn't have missed it.
Absolutely.
I'm sure a number of our audience members are not familiar with you or your work, so tell us a little about yourselves.
I'm a climate specialist with a PhD in chemical engineering. I worked for Dow Chemical and ExxonMobil for nearly 20 years, and my specialty is carbon analysis.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really a gasp.
That's hilarious.
I didn't mean it to be.
I've been cooking all my life and professionally for the last 15 years. I'm certified with the Culinary Institute of America, and I'm a 3 times James Beard awardee. I'm currently lead chef at the Country Squire in Midtown.
That's a 5-star restaurant.
Would take 6, they let us.
I've eaten there before. The food is delicious.
Thanks. We work hard to make it look easy, but it's not.
I get it. Well, today we are going to cover a few topics, and while we do, Michelle is going to prepare us a gourmet meal. What are you going to make for us today?
A pan-seared, corn-encrusted salmon with fresh greens.
Sounds delicious.
I hope so.
Lisa, do you still work for those companies you mentioned?
No, now I work for the Carbon Reduction Initiative.
Didn't the founder host Saturday Night Live?
He did host it, and I'm working with him to find a solution to a problem that's been around for a long time. The impact of carbon emissions.
What can you tell us about it?
Let's start with the basics. Trees use photosynthesis to remove carbon dioxide naturally. Trees are especially good at storing carbon removed from the atmosphere. This is important because the global carbon footprint is so high that it is directly contributing to warming the planet.
And the plants can't keep up.
Exactly.
Sounds serious.
It is. As of 2011, a study showed rising carbon dioxide concentrations already causing the planet to heat up.
Like the greenhouse effect.
Greenhouse warming doesn't happen right away because the ocean soaks up heat. This means that the Earth will increase by at least another 1 degree Fahrenheit because of carbon dioxide already in the atmosphere.
That also sounds bad.
Indeed. And since that study, it is estimated that the planet is heating up faster than expected. Meaning that we would need to cool the Earth by at least 2 degrees for a chance at keeping things normal. But at least 1.5 degrees would help.
I read that report. The more carbon put in the air means that it can't adequately be absorbed, so it becomes a vicious cycle. So what real impacts results from this exactly?
According to NASA, this leads to increased heat, drought, insect outbreaks, and wildfires. Further, declining water supplies means decreased agricultural yields, and health impacts in cities due to heat, flooding, and erosions in coastal areas are additional concerns.
You mentioned one thing that I want to hone in on, reduce agricultural yields.
I'm already seeing an impact.
How so, in restaurants?
Yes, food prices are increasing, and that cost gets passed on to consumers.
Yes, there will be a huge impact on how and what we eat.
On what we eat? Like pizza, chicken wings, ice cream, and other delicious stuff? How so?
According to the UN, climate change is putting food production at risk. Yield crops for growth has been declining in many countries, and in the absence of effective adaptation, yields could decline by 30% by 2050.
Now this is hitting me where it hurts, my stomach. Can we talk about specifics?
You know, the British newspaper, The Guardian, reported that corn, chocolate, coffee, seafood, maple syrup, cherries, beans, and wine grapes will be affected if we don't acknowledge and do something about carbon emissions contributing to climate change.
This is really concerning, especially since French fries are at stake.
Agreed. It's food security for everyone. For me personally, it's job security. In my line of work, without food, we have a huge problem, French fries included.
This is too much. I love going out to eat. So how do we handle that?
I make the best meals possible with the most sustainable foods I can find. It matters.
But none of this will be available if we keep on as we are and ignore the impact of climate change on just about everything, especially the foods we like to eat.
Absolutely correct.
It may even impact things like cooking oils, forcing us to use synthetic. And a matter of fact, in a few minutes, I have a surprise for you in that regard.
What can we do about it?
Everyone can make a difference by making small changes, like really considering their carbon footprint. Several companies are also actively looking to solve the carbon issues.
And
It's really forward thinking. Carbon removal takes time. One solution is to directly pull the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and the ocean to sequester it sustainably and durably.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is.
They even go a long way in helping us maintain our diets.
And everyone wins.
Not sure about you all, but all of this has made me hungry.
Good thing, too. It's time to eat.
Yummy.
To illustrate the impact of climate change, I want you to look at your plates. You each have 2 pieces of salmon. I want you to try the one on the left first, and then the one on the right.
Well, the left one is delicious.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Wow. It's different.
Yeah, it's okay, but
That's because the one on the left was cooked in natural cooking oil, and the one on the right was prepared in synthetic cooking oil. And is another byproduct of climate change.
I didn't think of that. The difference in taste is remarkable.
It's pretty hard to stomach.
I'm a pretty good cook, but even I can't make synthetic oil work to make food taste better. If food doesn't taste good, people just won't eat it.
Well, I don't need any more convincing. Okay, folks, this is all we have for you today. Remember, climate change is happening. Humans have an impact, good and bad, and we are all affected by it. Let's all take steps to see how we can mitigate our footprint, since no one wants to be denied the comforts of a balanced climate and delicious food.
Dessert's ready.
Bon appetit!